Hi guys. It's a little too windy outside to do any kayaking today, so I figure this is a great opportunity to talk about how wind affects your camera footage when you're out on the water. This here is the type of camera that I typically use. This is a GoPro camera. That's the waterproof housing. You can see I've got an extended battery on the back of mine. So I have the deeper part of the housing on the back side of this to accommodate that extra battery. And this is actually not a waterproof housing. This is more like this housing that you see here, where there's a hole in it. That allows sound to come through to the microphone, which is what you're going to have to do if you want to get yourself talking or get the sounds of the water while you're out there fishing. However, if it's windy like it is today, the wind is going to blow onto the microphone and your footage is going to sound terrible. So that's where this little fabric piece comes in handy. This is a piece of fabric that I had from an old costume that I made during Halloween. And it's easily obtainable at any kind of craft store. And this is a must-have if you're interested in getting good sound from your GoPro camera, or any camera for that matter, while you're out on the water. This is actually the very first camera that I started using when I was making videos for YouTube. And it's like an old school flip camera that I got for, I don't know, 150 bucks or something. But you can see I used the fabric on the front. That's where the microphone is. I just put a little glue around the little holes in the housing where the microphone was and placed this on there, and it totally eliminated any kind of wind noise that I was getting. This is the housing from the very first GoPro that I ever had. Unfortunately, I lost that camera out in the Gulf of Mexico one day. That was pretty terrible. But I had two housings for that camera, and a friend that I made on YouTube just recently sent me one of these add-on pieces to the front that is a polarizing filter. This might help me get some pretty good footage in the future without all the glare. I'm told this is a little bit like having a pair of glasses on, but for your camera. So unfortunately, this only fits on the old housing. So I've got to put a piece of this onto here, and I figured if I'm going to do that, I might as well share this with you. So let's get to it. It's a really simple process, and again, I suggest everybody out there who wants to get some decent sound out of your GoPro to give this a shot. Okay, in order to do this, I'm going to take the back door off of the camera housing. I'm going to protect the tabletop because I'm going to be using super glue. And pretty much what I'm going to be doing is I'll be putting glue around the perimeter here and then just pressing the fabric onto the housing. And then I'll trim it after it's glued to this. And the way this works, really, man, the boat is jostling all over the place. It's windy out there. But the way this works is that when this squeezes together, you don't really want to get fabric caught in there because it can make it difficult to close, and you're not so much worried about the waterproofing aspect of it, but you don't want to stress your handle too much when it cinches down. You know, if there's any kind of fur stuck in there, it's going to make a lot of pressure on your handle here and could break it. So try to be careful and not get too much fur around where this white gasket is. You can actually take that gasket out, and probably a good idea so you don't get any glue on it. And you just want to make sure you're getting your super glue here just around the perimeter of these openings. On this particular back door, there are 3 openings. You got one here, and one here, and that's where the sound is going to come in. So let's go ahead and do this. Oh, it seems this thing is already open. That's nice. I love the smell of that super glue. So let's just carefully add a little glue here. Careful when you're doing this in your house not to get it all on your hands or all over the place, because then the fabric will stick to your hands and it'll look like you've been doing too much or something, and all of a sudden your palms are hairy. It just makes for awkward conversations and people will think you're a liar and stuff. Anyway, so that's it. You glue that on there and it is going to contact. It's going to make a bond really fast. What I'll do is I just kind of like press the fabric up against the areas where the glue is. Hold it for just a moment. That's it. That's on there. I'm going to keep holding it there while I trim it. And get the bulk of the fabric off first. Now I can start trimming a little bit more carefully around the edges. And you see that's protecting those openings. It's allowing sound to come in just fine. Sound waves will find their way into this, but wind will be totally blocked out. You'll be amazed at the difference that this makes. All this loose stuff over here is just going to get pretty nasty out on the water, so I kind of give that a bit of a haircut. And that's it. You now have what is called in the industry a dead cat on the back of your housing. And you just dry fit it, make sure that your latch here will be able to engage that little lip. That's it. You now have the ability of getting great audio without that wind noise ruining everything for you.